Hey everybody, I hope you're doing well today. Got a beautiful sunny spring day here, and it is time to do some planting. Now, for those of you who have been around for a while, you know that I have some land and we have chickens and gardens and fruit trees and berry bushes and things of that nature. So every once in a while I'll do a video that has nothing to do with music, and it's just talking about what we're doing around here. So for those who are new, you may like this, you may not. Okay, so we've got our cool weather crops planted already in the gardens behind me over here. And my husband is just getting our walkways mulched with leaves to keep the weed growth down in there. We have raised bed gardens. But this year, it's kind of special. Everybody knows what's going on right now. So what we're doing is we're planting more. So if a lot of you, I'm sure, have heard of a victory garden. But if you haven't, I want you to look up a victory garden. There's lots of good videos about it here on YouTube. So look it up. It's something everybody needs to do right now. If you have the ability to plant food, you should be doing that this year, especially this year. And if you already garden, plant more, okay? We want to be able to not only provide food for our family, but we want to also be able to share and barter with neighbors and friends as well. Plus, gardening is very fun. It's satisfying. It's stress relieving. So anyway, today what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take you through a quick instruction, I guess, and so you can see what kind of things we're going to put in our garden. I got this 72 cell little greenhouse kits, and they come with the from Burpee, comes with the little peat moss pellet that expands when you add water to it. And these trays are kind of neat. I thought somebody might be interested in that. So I have two 36 cell trays. Windy today, so I'm gonna fight everything flying away here, but two 36 cell trays, okay, and they each have a pellet in it. And then we have two watering trays that go underneath the cells, and then two domes that will go over the top to make a mini greenhouse. And at the bottom of each cell is a hole to allow water to go through, and you can also water the whole thing from the bottom. But anyway, these little doodads are neat because you put warm water on them and they will expand, and they'll fill this entire cell with this peat moss, and you plant your seeds in it and get them growing so you can get a head start. And that way you don't have to buy the expensive plant starts in the stores. And it also comes with 2 sheets to label your stuff, which is really smart. Sometimes I fail at that, and it's a surprise. But, okay, let me get some warm water, and we'll fill these up and watch them go. And I'll probably move the camera too, okay? Okay, so I have my whole setup down here. First thing I'm going to do is get these watering trays, put them under the seed trays so that we don't get water everywhere. And then I'm going to get this stuff out of the way also. Put that over here. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take this little guy right here, and we're going to fill these with water. Now, once they swell up, then we'll dump out any remaining water. But what I'll do is, after I pour it over, I'll get the camera even closer and you can watch them swell up, and I'll probably speed it up for you as well. But here we go. We want these pellets to be flat inside of the cell there, so that it won't grow sideways and push out. They're supposed to just grow up and down. So, okay, let's see what happens. Just start pouring them in, and they're going everywhere right now. Some of them are flipping over. Oh my goodness, they are growing fast. So we're just gonna try to keep putting warm water on them and keep positioning them. So you can see some of them are growing up out of the cell now. They've taken on that much water. So everybody's straight. Let's put some more warm water on them. Make sure. Those things popped up quick. Wow. I wasn't expecting that to be so quick. So now I'm just going to go in and sort of loosen up that soil a little bit in each one. May need more water. And this is warm water. It makes them activate faster. So you just so we just break it up, and it's going to fill the cell there. That one went sideways. Okay, there we go. Fill the cell there with material that'll be great and airy to place our seeds in. And you know, you're really, especially if you have kids or grandkids, this is so much fun to let them do this with you. Get them involved in seeing how we grow our food from a seed and then we harvest it later on. It's so much fun. And we'll do our harvesting things for you too. A lot of times I would just put pictures in there, not show the harvesting, but maybe this year I will. Okay, so that is a fully grown set there that is ready, good and wet and ready for our seeds. And it's loose, as you can tell also. And here we have them all swelled up in this container. This container, they are still awaiting the water. So that's what that looks like. Okay, next step. Okay, so now we're ready to do our second set of cells. Moving this mic out of the way. Okay, second set of cells. And I will try and get these to where they don't flip up. Sideways. Yep. Sideways. This water I didn't make quite as warm, so they're reacting a little slower, which is better. Those first ones went so fast I didn't have a time to flip them. So we just want to get them good and wet until they grow all the way up, okay? And then after a few minutes of this, we will dump out the remainder out of that tray and that tray, because there'll be a lot of water standing at the bottom. Okay, so now we just do the same thing here. We just do the same thing and break up our pellets into our little soil pieces. And I'm left-handed, so I gotta do this with my left hand, y'all. I'll bet some of y'all didn't realize that I was left-handed. But you don't play any musical instruments left-handed. Yep, you are correct. I sure don't. You know, growing up, I played all sports right-handed, and only thing I do with my left hand is eat and brush my teeth. That's pretty much about it. Stuff like this as well. I can't imagine trying to play a musical instrument left-handed. I don't know. Just, it seems, I don't know. You do so much with your fretting hand. I can't imagine the fretting hand being the non-dominant hand. That just doesn't make sense to me. So anyway, that's my 2 cents on that. But okay, so we just continue to open up those little doodads there to get our soil ready. And you know, if you want to plant flowers, I've got bulbs growing, and I've got gladiolas to plant today, but I've got irises and or no, I don't have irises. I have some lilies and some other things growing. Marigolds around the garden, because that helps with pests. Come on over. So we finished that. Now we're ready for our seeds after we dump the water. Okay, so now we have got these watered, and they're nice and fluffy. And I went ahead and I dumped the excess water out of the trays. Okay, so after a few minutes you want to do that. All right, now the next thing I did was I labeled my trays, tray 1 and tray 2, and there's an A, B, C, and D on each tray, so that corresponds with your little chart here. So I have charted out what I'm going to do. You're supposed to put seeds that are similar sizes in the same trays. So you wouldn't want like tiny little baby seeds in with larger seeds, because the water usage will be different and things of that nature. Okay, so what I have planned for this, now keep in mind, I'm also going to be planting outside in the ground as well. Again, as I said before, this year is different. It's special. I want to make sure we're doing several different types of planting in case things fail. Okay, so I'm going to be planting and starting indoors. I'm going to be planting direct sow outdoors. We have a last frost date here of April 15th where I live, but we've got some warm weather. I'm going to bet on the warm weather, and I'm going to plant some of this right now direct sow as well. But if we do get a frost, it'll either slow or stop some of those, and that's okay. I have extra seeds, and that's the point of this. I want to make sure we have plenty of food this year. Okay? I'm feeding 4 people, with my mother included, and I also have neighbors that I give vegetables to every year, so they are counting on that as well. So what normally feeds us, I'm going to basically double it, and whatever goes, and whatever fails. It'll be fine. But I'm planting in abundance because of what's going on in our world, and I just think that's smart thing to do for everybody to do, because any extra abundance that we have beyond friends and neighbors and that sort of thing, I will donate to our food bank. Okay, and we have lots of churches that do food banks, and we have a lot of poverty in my area, so that can be a blessing to others also. So here's what I've got planned. I'm going to plant, I got to tell you something. There's something called a Caserta squash. It's a zucchini type squash, but this is the easiest thing to grow I've ever grown. I don't really have a green thumb, really. Believe it or not, I don't. But the Caserta squash, one plant will produce an unreal amount of squash. So having 12 of these, wow, we're going to have a lot of squash. We're going to have squash coming out of our ears, and that'll be a blessing to us and to others. So also, my garden, the beds that I have are not big enough to incorporate all the plants that I have planned. But what we're doing is my husband is plowing up. We have a small tiller. He's plowing up some extra spots in around our yard area here that we're going to plant also. And you know, again, it will be unprotected. Like my fenced in garden there is protected from critters. This will be unprotected, but some of it might grow, and it might grow just fine. So in here, we're putting 12 Casertas. Then I'm putting 12 cucumbers, because I also like to make pickles. And I'm putting 12 butternut squash. Again, a lot of these things will be direct sown as well within the next week or so. Okay, so that takes care of that tray. The second tray, I have 2 different kinds of tomatoes that I'm doing, sweetie and delicious. I'm going to do 6 each of those. I'm going to do my sweet peppers. Now look, let me tell you a little secret. Sweet peppers. You know that that bag of sweet peppers they sell in Walmart for like $3? I think it comes from Texas. And it's the yellow, red, and orange sweet peppers. Oh, they're so good. They taste wonderful. Well, one year I just was like, I'm going to save the seed and see if I can grow it. Grows every year for me in abundance. Easy to grow, okay? So I have tons of those sweet peppers, and then green peppers. So 2 rows of sweet peppers and 2 rows of green, orange, yellow, red peppers. So that's how I've got it planned out, and then we'll get that started. So how I'm going to do it is, the first thing I have is 2 rows of my Caserta. So I'm going to grab my Caserta. It's also called Italian striped. These things, oh my goodness, you can harvest them when they're young and small, or you can wait till they're huge. I mean, I have done them in so many casseroles and just so many dishes, you guys. They're so good. Okay, so we just want to start these. Get a little hole. Get a little hole. I've got a lot of wind today. Get a little hole in your peat moss there going. And we're just going to dump a seed in. It's pretty straightforward. You know this. And we'll see how these do. I've not done one of these before. So I usually just do direct sowing into the garden. And since I have a backup, I'm only going to put, since these are also large seeds, wow, I planned that perfectly. I'm only going to put 1 seed per cell on my larger seed items. Just cover it up just enough that it's not showing. But I'm only going to plant 1 seed per cell here, because these are small cells and large seeds. So, and I'm just trying to get a little jump on my season. It would kind of be, in a regular year, I wouldn't do this. Like I said, I normally just direct sow everything when it's time. But I'm trying to do something a little different this year. See what happens, to try to get extra food and get plants that are a little bit established when I put them in the ground, instead of just direct sowing a seed. And yes, I could go and buy plants. I can't buy them yet, of course, but I could go buy squash plants and all that. But you see, they cost a lot of money. Seeds don't cost much at all. And that's why we do these things. We want to save money. Okay, so I got those 12 planted. Now I'm going to move on. And this lines up right with my little chart over here. Now I'm going to put my cukes in the middle cells. And on YouTube here is a wonderful channel called M.I. Gardener. I'll put him down below. Wonderful gardening channel. I believe he's well, I know he's up in Michigan, M.I. But he is a very knowledgeable young man. Him and his wife have not even a huge garden. It's all raised beds that they plant in, but it's got a very informative channel. And I'll link him below if you want to check him out. Because, watching gardening stuff is very relaxing. It's just very relaxing. And doing gardening, as I was saying before, is just, it's a lot of fun. It's so rewarding. My mom just came over a minute ago to get bulbs because we're going to be planting those gladioluses today as well, because a funny little story as I'm planting these cucumbers. My daughter, we went to Colonial Williamsburg last summer as our vacation, and we like to try to do these historical things on our vacation. We took our pop-up camper, had a blast, but we went to Colonial Williamsburg, and one thing that really struck all of us very deeply was their love, their gardens, their flower gardens. Oh my Lord, they were beautiful. They were so beautiful. And my daughter kept saying to us, we have got to get more flowers. We need more flowers. More. So I'm trying to do that. So I'm getting some different flowers established in different spots. Up the drive as you come up, we've got a little flower thing down there. Trying to get that more established. Up the top of our drive, bottom of our little hill there, I'm getting another one started. And I also will have flowers in the garden that are pest resistant flowers that will help protect the vegetables. And that is, I like to grow marigolds and nasturtiums in there, in different places in the garden. Okay, now to my last cell that I'm doing. And this, my last two cells here are going to be butternut squash. Again, I'll be planting a lot of this stuff outside too. This is just redundancy. But yeah, I got these off of eBay from, was it eBay? Yeah. From a lady who saves her seeds, which I should have. I didn't have butternut. This will be my first try at growing butternut. But I'm excited at the prospect of the volume of food I can get from that and how long they last once you cure the skins. See, you can have butternut last a year in a cool, dark place once you cure it properly. And I know I'll probably get comments about how I shouldn't be, how I should be direct sowing most of these, but that's okay. That's okay. Again, redundancy. We want an abundance of food, and we're going to ensure that by using several methods. But butternuts are delicious, and they go in so many foods and last. Very good, long-lasting produce there. Also, my Caserta, with my abundance of those, I freeze a lot of them. I don't can them, but I freeze them and use them in all kind of soups and casseroles and things of that nature, and they're excellent. They're so good. And again, this tray is for my volume food I want to plant this year. I'm not playing around with these little things, with too many things that I haven't grown. I mean, I am growing these that I haven't grown, but I'm not playing around with these little boutique things. I'm getting things that I know will produce a lot of volume of food. Now, this is not all that I'm planting either. So we have a lot of other food out there too. I said I already have my cool weather crops out there. Okay, that tray is done. It's just going to sit in the lovely sun now. Okay, the next tray. For this tray, pull out my little handy dandy chart. I make sure that I am lined up properly with my chart, okay, yes, lined up. So I make sure that we're lined up here, and then get my other seeds out of the way and get rolling on these. Another thing that I'll talk to you about is this little doodad in front of me right here. But you can plant a certain number per square foot, so that you can get as many as you can in each bed, as much food as you can. And you'd be surprised at how much food you can grow in just a a 4x4 box or a 4x8. I have one, let's see, I have one 4x4. I have 5 4x8s. You can get so much food in there. So these, I will plant 2 seeds at least per cell, and then we will thin those as necessary later. But we just want them right at the top here. And okay, let's see. So this little thing in front of me here, that little green thing, is neat because what they want you to do when you're doing square foot gardening is mark your garden with like stakes and wood strips and things like that, but I don't have time for that. So what I do is I use this thing and it just pushes down into the dirt. Move that mic real quick. This thing is nifty, and yeah, this is a doodad, you don't need it, but I like it and I use it. This little thing is so cool. It's called the seeding square. So for square foot gardening, this is perfect. Each color is a different plant. Okay, some plants you can only plant 1 plant per square foot. So you just press this down into your dirt and it makes an indentation. Then you just take this doodad, and if you got like radishes or green onions or something, and you're going to plant 16 of them, you follow the red holes. Boom, 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 boom. And you just plant. They're evenly spaced, perfectly spaced, everything. So you've got your 1, your 2, your 4, your 8, the whole thing. Your 9 and your 16. You've got the whole, and it also gives you a sheet, because you can't. I haven't been gardening my whole life, so I don't know all these things. I need a little cheat sheet. But this is a neat little doodad to have. You can eyeball it too. I've eyeballed it and it works okay. But this is more precise and gives you more food. So now we got to cover up the tomatoes. Cover our little maters. And then from there, I just get in here with my fingers because I don't have to use their fancy little stick for everything. But let's just cover them up. Then we'll move on to the sweet peppers and the green peppers. All right, now my sweet peppers. Where are you, my joyous little sweet peppers that I save? And I'm telling you, to save a seed, it's real easy too. You just, after you eat the pepper, my pepper seeds are all falling out, but after you eat it, dry the seeds out on a paper towel in a sunny spot, sunny window, and then I just keep the paper towel, wrap it up, and they're beautiful, beautiful seeds, and they work perfectly. So again, I'm putting 2 seeds per cell here, because we want to have lots of, because we'll just eat these sweet peppers. Oh my goodness, we will just eat them raw. Well, I mean, we eat them all raw, but I don't even cook these. They're so good. I just we eat them raw. With, sometimes I'll cut them up, but the majority of the time we are just eating them raw with our whatever we're eating. Just taking big old chunks out of them. They're crunchy, sweet, juicy. Oh, they're so good. And there'll be various colors based on how long you leave them on the bush. All right, so now, last but not least, we're going to do our green peppers. again, same thing with the sweet peppers. The longer you leave it on there, it'll change colors. Okay, so now my last cells are getting the green pepper. And these grow well also. I don't ever get a red pepper because I'm not waiting that long. I might get some bug damage or something before then. So I get them when they're green. Some of them are green and yellow. Some of them get full yellow. I've had ones where there's a little bit of yellow and a little bit of orange starting, but I don't wait. Because, you know, we gotta have lots of green peppers in all of our food. Love those. So yeah, cover it up. And these will just sit out here today. We're not supposed to have any rain. It's supposed to be sunny. I'm not even gonna put the dome over it because it's warm. Not today. Put the dome over it tonight when I bring it in the house. If the weather will be cool enough or warm enough, I will leave these on the back porch. If it gets too cool, I'll bring them inside. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed this little chat with me. We're excited about this gardening season and hopeful for it. And I'll link below this little seeding square too if you're interested in that. You don't need it again. It's sort of one of those little extra doodads, but I kind of like it. It makes it faster for me to plant. And it's kind of fun. And it's teaching me what it's teaching me about plant spacing and how important that is. So okay, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope this has inspired you to maybe start this and try this yourself, and get your own victory garden going this year, okay? With that, I'm going to let you go. And before I do that, I always want to remind you that Jesus loves you. Bye-bye, y'all. What do you birds want? What do you want? Huh? We got some tall weeds, but we got stuff planted. We got some stuff planted in our new garden beds, refreshed garden beds. We're gonna do all the other ones too, but got some radishes, a bunch of blueberry bushes over there, and blackberry, and on the other side of the fence there's raspberry. Got to plant some more grapes. And I got a little baby greenhouse to start my seeds in that I need to get started. Got some onion sets and potatoes. Gonna try to grow some potatoes in a big giant, I guess that's like a feed bin for your animals, but we're gonna try some, sorry about the turning camera here, but we're gonna try some Yukon Gold potatoes in there this year. I already said I've got radishes, spinach, beets, green onions, kale, some butter crunch, lettuce, I think that's all I got out there right now, but I need to do my second planting of that because it's been a couple weeks.
Look at this cat.
Oh yeah.
She plops
Willow
in the middle of the grass.
is in the midst of the chickens right now.
Oh, that chicken just by getting my foot near it. Come here. Nina, where are you going? Where are you going, pretty girl? Running off?
She's chasing Sammy.
I can indeed stand on this.
Mhm.
I'm standing on this.
What are you doing, Buffy? Huh? Up there where that Buffy is, way over there, we've got grapes. And more grapes to plant. See, we got some cherries, some nectarines, peaches, and apples. Yeah, we got a lot of fruit trees. So hopefully this year we'll get a good bounty of fruit as well as all of our berries. We have lots of blueberries every year. And yeah, the girls are giving us, we have 12 birds now. Of our original 18, we gave away 4 and we lost 2, meaning they were brutally murdered when we were letting them free range. So we only let them out for a couple hours a day now, only when we're out with them. But that way they can forage a bit, get some bugs, supplement with some greenery. And boy, they enjoy that. So we've been getting anywhere from 8 to 11 eggs a day now, because they are ramped back up. Wintertime we would get 4 to 6. And I don't believe in lighting your chickens with a heat lamp in the winter to make them keep laying. I don't like that, so I don't do it. We do it the natural way and give our birds a rest so that when it's time they start really producing, and they do. I have so many that I sell a little tiny amount just to a neighbor, and then I give some away. And of course we have plenty as well. Also, my dogs get some to supplement protein in their diet. And the yolks are so beautiful. They are dark orange, like a deep orange. Hello, Miss Willow. What are you doing? Causing problems? This little devil right here does not even weigh 5 pounds yet. I don't even think she's going to get any bigger. She's about a year old. But she has brought into our house so far 3 or 4 birds now. 4 to 5 mice, and a mole, and a rabbit leg that she found somewhere. I don't know where. Somewhere in our woods, I reckon. So she is a little huntress, and sometimes the stuff she brings us is not dead. So sometimes we have to chase a birdie around the house. That's the good times though, because the bird's still alive and we can set it free. But anyway, that's what's going on around here. Hopefully my shaky camera wasn't too bad. That right there is called a kindling cracker, that black thing. It's amazing. That thing is amazing. But anyway, we got a lot of work to do. Enjoying the sun right before sunset, a couple hours before sunset. And supper's in the oven, so waiting for my little timer to go off to get our chicken and taters out of the oven. So, all right, we're gonna enjoy the rest of our day. I hope you're doing the same.